Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
In Riverside, California, the families of several people who have died in the county's jails are mounting an uphill battle to force the creation of an independent coroner's office. Their fight comes amid a headline-making spike in jail deaths in this sprawling county east of Los Angeles. In 2022, at least 19 people died while held in Riverside County detention facilities, according to California Department of Justice data. That's a higher rate of jail deaths than in LA County that year, which had 3 times as many inmates. Last year, at least 14 people died in the Riverside County detention centers. But the high number of deaths isn't the only reason behind the family's quest. In Riverside County, as in 48 of California's 58 counties, the coroner's office is run by the sheriff's department, the same agency that runs the jails. That structure, legal experts say, presents at least the perception of a conflict of interest when someone dies in jail, in police custody, or following police use of force. Many families of people who have died in Riverside County jails agree. That's because Chad Bianco, the Riverside County sheriff and a rabble-rouser who was once affiliated with the Oath Keepers and recently endorsed Trump by saying, "I think it's time to put a felon in the White House," has deflected responsibility for the deaths on his watch. When the California Attorney General in 2023 announced an investigation into Bianco's department, he dismissed it as a political maneuver by his detractors in Sacramento. "Every single one of these inmate deaths was out of anyone's control," Bianco told Riverside's press enterprise. "The fact of the matter is that they just happen to be in our custody." In another instance, Bianco used his personal Facebook account to respond to an article posted by the press enterprise about deaths in his jails, most of which were due to drug overdoses or suicide. Did inmates' families ever demand their family members not commit suicide or consume drugs while they were in custody? He wrote. Did they ever demand that their family members not commit crimes in the first place? And in an interview with U.S. News in March, Bianco doubled down. "It's not my fault that someone is going to extraordinary lengths to smuggle fentanyl into the jail," he said. "When are we going to say that it's not the government's fault or the government's responsibility to take care of all this?" Lisa Mattis's son Richard died of a fentanyl overdose at Riverside County's Coys M. Bird Detention Center in 2022. The autopsy performed by Bianco's office ruled Mattis had died of a fentanyl overdose. But it also found that his left anterior descending artery, which provides half the heart's blood, was 80 to 90% closed. Mattis's family alleges he was not given adequate medical attention while in jail, despite requesting care on multiple occasions. Richard was awaiting trial with his brother Raymond for attempted murder and attempted robbery when he was found unresponsive in his cell, according to the coroner's report. Mattis said she called the sheriff's department multiple times to locate Richard's body, but couldn't get answers until she got an attorney involved. "How do you trust somebody that's bashing you on social media, but is also in charge of letting us know what happened inside the jail?" she said. Mattis has filed a civil suit against the department, which is ongoing. When U.S. News asked Bianco about his social media remarks, he softened his stance. He said his comment was not meant to single out Mattis or imply she was to blame for her son's death. If given the opportunity to speak to Mattis in person, he said, "I would make it perfectly clear to her that that's not what I meant. And never would I think or accuse her of that." If the idea of a law enforcement agency overseeing a coroner's office sounds unusual, that's because it is. California is one of just 4 states that uses a sheriff-coroner system, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Generally speaking, a coroner is an administrative figure who oversees autopsies conducted by physicians who are also board-certified forensic pathologists. In California, anyone 21 or older with a high school diploma and no felony convictions meets the minimum requirements to become a coroner. Several experts said allowing law enforcement officials to serve as coroners in their own jurisdictions, as is the case